Zdravo usem, to je Wandering Tati. So apparently, at least according to Google Translate, my nickname translates to thief. Is that the case? Because I've been told that Google Translate is not so accurate in Slovene, but you can let me know in the comments below. So, in this occasion, I would like to tell you about Slovenia. That's right, the land of Triglav, Bled Castle and Kremšnita. Okay, don't get angry at me. I know it's debatable where it's from. I just happened to try it for the first time on top of Bled Castle, so I associate it with Slovenia. You can let me know in the comments below where you think it's from. So this is the story for today's vlog. In the past few days I've been feeling quite nostalgic. Not only because I miss my home country and people there, but a bit about everything really. About all the aspects of my life that are already behind me. That's what got me thinking into Slovenia. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I actually lived there for about 3.5 years. I lived in the city of Koper, located in the coast of the Adriatic Sea, and right on the border with Italy, immediately next to the city of Trieste. Or, as they say in Slovenia, Trst. Yes, like that, without any vowels whatsoever. That happens a lot in Slovene. You add some sort of e sound in the middle so that you can pronounce it. For example, the main square in Koper was called Tito Trg. Here you can see a bit of Koper. The city center with the tower and the Praetorian Castle. The beach. The outskirts, where you can find the mall Planet Tush, which I frequented a lot. You can visit the inside of the Praetorian Palace and learn about its history, or climb the 150 stairs to the top of the bell tower. Where you will encounter these wonderful views of the city. Slovenia is bordered by Italy to the west, Austria to the north, Hungary to the northeast, Croatia to the southeast, and the Adriatic Sea in the southwest. You know, for such a small country, with 20,271 square kilometers and a population of 2.1 million people, it has a bit of everything. Mountains, forests, seaside. It used to be part of Yugoslavia up until as recently as 1990, and it is now part of the European Union. Near the town I lived, there were other really lovely coastal towns. Like, for example, Isola, which I frequented a lot. I used to ride a bike there on weekends. It is about 7 kilometers from Koper. And it has a really nice beach where I would go every other weekend during the summer. There's also Piran, which is at the end point of the peninsula, with the statue of the musician Tartini in its main square, its pebble beach, and its amazing fort. And then there's Portorož, which is more of a touristy place, so it's quite full of people during the summer, but it's still a great place to visit. And it has a beach with sand, which is not something that's frequent in Slovenia. Most of the beaches have pebbles. I think the sand is artificially brought there, but regardless, you have a beach with sand. Oh, and this reminds me that I once visited this other coastal town called Strunjan. A friend of ours took us there by bike, thinking that we were fit enough for it apparently. I guess it was nothing for him, but I almost died in the process of getting there. I mean, I cannot express what I was feeling in my legs. It went from feeling like I was being stabbed repeatedly to being completely numb. I don't even know how I made it back home. It was a 24 kilometers round trip, which is not that much, but it has a lot, and I mean a lot of slope. I mean, it's a pretty wonderful secluded beach, so I'm tempted to say worth it, but then I remember that I could have just taken a bus there and, well, so that you know that's an option. But even if you take a bus, in order to get to the beach that I am showing you right now, you would still need to get down a really steep set of stairs in a hillside, so it's still not for everyone. And then we have its colorful capital city, Ljubljana. With its castle atop of a hill, its Dragon Bridge, and the main square with the statue of the poet Prešeren facing the window where his beloved Julia used to live. Then there's the second largest city, Maribor, located in the northeast, close to the border with Austria. You can find plenty of ski slopes and hiking and mountain trails really near the city. As a fun fact, the center of the city has the oldest grapevine in the world and the oldest cable car in Slovenia. You can also visit the inside of a cave in Postojna or Škocjan. I visited Škocjan, but never ended up going to Postojna. I had to leave something for next time I visit, I guess. While in Slovenia, you can also see a castle built inside of a mountainside and feel like an elf for a while. The Predjama Castle. Story tells that the castle has been perched in the middle of a 123-meter high cliff for more than 800 years. It is connected to the robber baron Erasmus of Predjama. Legend tells that after quarreling with the Emperor Frederick III of Austria, Erasmus held out for more than a year against a besieging army, until he was betrayed by one of his own servants, who lit a candle in the window of Erasmus' bedroom. This was a signal to the enemies, who then bombarded him with stone cannonballs. Predjama Castle is the only completely preserved cave castle in Europe, and due to its uniqueness, it is frequently used as a film set. Another wonderful place to visit is Kranjska Gora, a renowned ski center in the Julian Alps at the triple border point of Slovenia, Italy and Austria. It attracts ski jumpers, cyclists and hikers alike. Or you could be none of those things like me and still walk around and enjoy the wonderful scenery. In the alpine part of Slovenia you can also find Rogla. where you could stay in these cozy bungalows with some scary staircases. Take a chairlift to the top. And race along the 1,360 meter long winding track in your sleigh to get down. This was always so much fun. Oh, and you can also say hi to the cows who are right outside the bungalows. A place you should definitely not skip if you're going to Slovenia is Bled, with its castle on top of a mount and its island with a church in the middle of the lake. In order to get to the island, you can take a Bledna boat that can take up to 18 people. Or if you're up for it, you can rent a rowing boat. That is what we did. You can buy the tickets for the electric boat or the rowing boats at Cafe Park. Bledna boats are 12 euros per person. You know, before the church was built on the island, a temple dedicated to the pagan goddess of life and fertility stood at the same place. After Christianization in 745, the ancient Slavic temple was replaced by a church dedicated to the birth of Mary. The church was renovated in 1465 and rebuilt in Gothic style. It holds a 52 meters high standing bell tower and a 99 stone steps staircase. There is a tradition still alive today that the groom has to carry the bride all the way up the 99 steps in order to be able to get married at the church. And there's also a wishing bell, which is really popular among the visitors. In order to visit Bled's castle, you can get to the top by your own vehicle. You can park there for about 3 euros an hour. You can walk there, which should take about 15 or 20 minutes from the city center, or you can take a local bus. You would need to get down at the Grad stop. Tickets to the castle are 13 euros per person. The first mention of this castle dates to the year 1011, in a deed of donation issued by the Emperor Henry II in favor of the bishops of Brixen, and it was the residence for 8 centuries. The oldest part of the castle is the Romanesque tower. The buildings are arranged around 2 courtyards, which are connected with a staircase. Besides the incredible views of the lake, its many attractions include a 16th century Gothic chapel, an exhibition gallery in its tower, the 2 patios, and the Castle Museum, where you can learn about the history of the region, as well as printing and forging. You can also find a cafe, a restaurant, and a souvenir shop at the top. An essential visit near Bled is the Vintgar Gorge. It is a 1,600 meters long and 250 meters deep gorge on the eastern part of Triglav National Park, 4 kilometers northwest from the center of Bled. The route through the gorge is in one direction. Visitors can choose between different circular routes to return to the entry point. All the routes are clearly marked with signs along the way. Tickets are 10 euros per person. And last but not least, another lovely visit if you enjoy nature is Bohinj. Bohinj Lake is the largest in Slovenia. We took a really nice 3-hour hike going around it. Located in the northeast of Slovenia, inside Triglav's National Park, the lake has 100 million cubic meters of water. During summer, the temperature is about 22 degrees, which makes it perfect for a swim, and in the winter it gets frozen and turns into a magical mirror. Fun fact, that is where I saw the snow for the first time in my life. So that is all for my video of Slovenia. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button to let me know. And please let me know about you in the comments. Are you nostalgic about a specific time of your life as well? Do you think that when we remember things, we actually remember what we witnessed? Or are our memories less reliable than we would like to think? And on a lighter note, what did you think of Slovenia? Did I convince you to visit? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Until next time!